Screen Guild Theater. Your neighborhood good golf dealer and the Gulf Oil Companies welcome you to the Gulf Theater, the one place where you meet all your favorite stars. Tonight we bring you Joan Bennett, Tyrone Power, Humphrey Bogart, and of course Oscar Bradley and his Gulf Orchestra. And now the director of the Gulf Theater and your host, Roger Pryor.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight I've taken advantage of my job as director of the Gulf Theater to bring you one of my favorite plays, Robert Sherwood's The Petrified Forest. 4 years ago it played to packed houses on Broadway. And it was 4 years ago that Joan Bennett was making her first big hit in Private Worlds. Tyrone Power was an unknown youngster taking his first screen test in New York, and Humphrey Bogart was on Broadway. An outstanding success in the very play we're doing tonight. If you listen closely to tonight's play, you'll hear the same warning that audiences crowding into a New York theater heard 4 years ago. A warning of what has since happened to the world. When the author of that play, Robert Sherwood, the celebrated American dramatist, heard that we wanted to do The Petrified Forest here in the Gulf Theater, he gave us permission to present the play without cost, because he knows that the Gulf Theater is really the star's own theater. He knows that every cent that Gulf would ordinarily give to the stars who appear here is given instead to help meet the needs of the Motion Picture Relief Fund and to build a home for the less fortunate members of the industry. And now, on with the play. Lights! Music! Curtain! Night has fallen on the highway that winds its lonely way across the empty wastelands of the Arizona desert. The wind sighs and moans through the sage and chaparral, driving the tumbleweed to flight like small gray ghosts. A coyote greets the rising moon and is answered on some far-off hill. In all this wilderness of wind and sand and night, there's but one friendly oasis, the distant, garish sign of a roadside restaurant, a garage. Just outside is Bose, a young mechanic. Gabby, the proprietor's daughter, is curled up in a chair by the window.
When the falcon claps his wings, no wit for grief, but noble heart held high. With loud, glad noise he stirs himself and springs, and takes his meat and towards his lair draws nigh.
Hi, Gabby.
Oh, hello, Bose.
How about a little kiss, honey?
Oh, stop annoying me, will you? Can't you see I'm reading?
Yeah, reading that pash poetry and listening to some sticky orchestra on the radio. That's all you ever do.
What else is there to do in this godforsaken desert?
Plenty say if you'd only pay a little attention to me, I could show you
I'm
things
really
that...
not interested. Why don't you stay outside and take care of the garage? That's what Dad hired you for.
Oh, now listen, honey, I'm not as terrible as you think. I'm just a big guy with a good heart and plenty of red blood, and I'm full of love, baby. Ah, gee, you're a beautiful kid.
Ah, Bose, don't. Bose, look out. Someone's coming.
Good evening.
Good evening. What can we do for you?
Can I order something to eat?
Yeah, sure. There's a menu. Miss Maple will take your order.
Thank you.
I'm going out in the garage now, honey. But I'll be back.
And while you're at it, you might tell Gramp to come in and get us supper.
Okay, baby.
Ready to order, sir?
Oh, yes. I'll have this hamburger special and some beer. You'd better bring me a double portion. I'm quite hungry.
Driven far?
Yes, quite a long way. But for the last 10 miles, I've been walking.
You mean you're just bumming along?
Call it gypsying. You know, it's wonderful what progress you can make merely by power of the thumb.
Where are you planning to go?
That depends on where this road leads.
It leads to the Petrified Forest.
What's that?
Oh, just a lot of dead old trees in the desert that have turned to stone.
Sounds like a suitable place for me. Perhaps that's what I'm destined for. To be buried in the Petrified Forest. To become just another obsolete stump in the desert. It's an interesting idea.
I'm ready for my supper, Gabby.
Okay, Gramp, I'll tell Paula to fix it. Your order will be ready in a minute, sir.
Thank you.
Like to see the evening paper while you're waiting for your food?
Oh, thanks.
Got the whole story about that Duke Mantee massacre. Got his picture, too.
Huh. 6 killed in Oklahoma City jailbreak as Duke Mantee escapes. Did he do all that?
Yeah. Folks in town say he's headed this way, but I don't believe it. He's probably got over the Mexican border long ago.
He doesn't look like a gangster, does he?
He ain't no gangster. He's a real old-time desperado. Our gangsters is foreigners. Mantee's an American. He's a real killer, too. I can tell. I knowed plenty of 'em in my day. Yes, sir. I come down into this desert 56 years ago, and believe me, my friend, things was different then. Yes, sir.
Here you are, sir. Double hamburger special. Your supper's ready, Graham.
I'm ready for it. Well, I hope you enjoy your victuals, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. I hope you enjoy yours, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Well, that's a charming old gentleman. Your grandfather?
Yes. Say, you are hungry, aren't you?
Well, you can go just so long without food, you know.
Luck been bad?
Yes.
What do you do?
Do?
Yes, for a living.
Oh, nothing. That is, nothing just now. I have been at times a writer.
Thinking of trying your luck in Hollywood?
No. I'm afraid I'm neither good nor active enough a writer for that. But I suppose you hope to get into the movies?
Me? Oh, no.
I thought every beautiful girl had her heart set on Hollywood.
Oh, that's just it. It's too common. I want to go to Bourges.
Where?
Bourges in France. That's where my mother lives.
Oh, is she French?
Oh, yes, that's where Dad met her. It was during the war. He brought her back here, and she stuck it out in this desert as long as she could. 4 years. Then she packed up and went back to Bourges. She writes to me. And on my last birthday, she sent me this book. It's the poems of Francis Villon. Ever read it?
Yes.
It's wonderful poetry. Mother wrote in it, "À ma chère petite Gabrielle." That means, to my dear little Gabrielle. She gave me that name. It's about the only French thing I've got.
Gabrielle. It's a beautiful name.
Wouldn't you know it'd get changed into Gabby by the ignorant dopes around here?
So you share your mother's opinion of the desert.
Uh-huh.
But you can find solace in the poems of Francois Villon.
Oh, yes. It takes the smell of hamburger out of my system. You know, that poetry's wonderful stuff. But that's the way the French people are. They can understand everything, like life and love and death, and they can enjoy it or laugh at it, depending on how they feel.
It's plain to see you've never been to France. Take my word for it, Gabrielle. Stay here and avoid disappointment.
What makes you think I'd be disappointed?
I've been to France. I lived there for 8 years.
What were you doing, writing books?
No, planning to write books. You see, I was living on my wife's money.
Oh.
Oh, please don't think too ill of me. I once actually wrote a book.
Was it successful?
Not very, no. It cost the publisher quite a lot of money, and it also cost him his wife. You see, she divorced him and married me. She had faith in me. She saw in me a major artist, profound but inarticulate. She believed that all I needed was background, and she gave it to me, with southern exposure and a fine view of the Mediterranean. For 8 years I reclined there on the Riviera, on my background, and I waited for the major artist in me to step forth and say something of enduring importance. He preferred to remain inarticulate.
And you've left your wife now?
I left at her suggestion. She had taken up with a Brazilian painter, also a major artist. There was nothing for me to do but travel.
What were you looking for?
Well, that's rather hard to say. I suppose I've been looking for something to believe in. I've been hoping to find something that's worth living for and dying for.
What have you found?
Nothing so interesting as a fair young lady who reads Villon and longs to go to Bourges.
Are you kidding me?
No, Gabrielle. I've never kidded anybody outside of myself.
You shouldn't talk that way. I bet you could do wonderful things if you'd only try.
No, don't delude yourself. My trouble is incurable. I belong to a vanishing race. I'm one of the intellectuals.
That means you've got brains. I can see you have.
Yes. Brains without purpose, noise without sound, shape without substance. Have you ever read The Hollow Men? It refers to the intellectuals who thought they'd conquered nature. And now, do you realize what it is that is causing world chaos?
No.
Well, I'm probably the only living person who can tell you. It's nature hitting back. She's fighting us with strange instruments called neuroses. She's deliberately afflicting mankind with the jitters. Nature is proving that she can't be beaten, not by the likes of us. She's taking the world away from the intellectuals and giving it back to the apes.
Huh?
Forgive me, Gabrielle, but I just can't tell you what a luxury it is to have someone to talk to. Incidentally, this beer is excellent.
It's made in Phoenix. You know, you talk like an awful fool.
I know it.
No wonder your wife kicked you out. And no wonder she fell for you in the first place.
That sounds alarmingly like a compliment.
It is a compliment. What'd you say your name was?
Alan Squire. I've been calling you Gabrielle, so
You know, Alan, there's something about you that's very appealing.
Appealing? Yes, that's been my downfall.
I was just thinking. I'd like to go to France with you.
Oh, no, Gabrielle. No, I could never retrace my footsteps.
You mean you haven't enough money?
Even that is an understatement.
Oh, don't worry about that. I've got plenty of money coming to me. Gramp has $22,000 sold it away in Liberty bonds, and it's all willed to me. I guess we could travel pretty far on that, couldn't we?
Too far.
We could go to France and you'd show me everything. All the cathedrals and the art, and explain everything. Of course, we'd have to wait maybe years. But, well, I could have Bose fired and give you the job tending the garage.
That's a startling proposal, Gabrielle. I hadn't expected to receive anything like that in this desert.
Wouldn't you like to be loved by me, Alan?
Yes, Gabrielle. I should like to be loved by you.
You think I'm attractive?
There are better words than that for what you are.
Then why don't we at least make a start at you? Haven't got anything else to do.
No, that's just it. You couldn't live very long with a man who had nothing else to do but worship you. That's a dull kind of love, Gabrielle. It's the kind of love that makes people old too soon. But I thank you for the suggestion. And now I think I'd better go.
Well, I can't stop you.
No, Gabrielle, you can't. But you can do me one great favor before I go. Would you mind very much if I kissed you goodbye?
No, I wouldn't mind.
You'd understand that it would be nothing more
I'd
than...
understand. It'd be just a kiss, that's all.
That's absolutely all.
Aha! That's what's been going on in here, necking, huh? I've been watching you through the window.
No, lay off him, Bose.
Just because she's sweet and sweet, you thought you could get fresh, huh? Well, I got a good mind to take
Bose, there's a car.
Oh, well, lucky thing for you, mister. Come on, pay your check and get out.
Well, that brings us to another embarrassment. I haven't any money.
No money? Well, of all the nerve. So you thought you could pay with a kiss, did you? You thought if you just...
Bose, don't.
All right, folks. Put up your hands and get over there against that counter. Come on, be quick about it. This guy here means business. He's Duke Mantee, the world-famous killer, and he's hungry.
Who's in there? Well, only one old man and...
My grandfather's in there and Paul of the cook's in the kitchen.
Bring him in, Jackie.
Okay, Duke.
Now, it's like this, folks. Me and the boys are going to park in here for a couple hours. The cops ain't likely to catch up with us tonight, so we can all be quiet and peaceable and have a few beers together and listen to the music and not make any wrong moves. Because I may as well tell you folks that old Jackie there with a machine gun, he's feeling pretty nervous and jumpy, and he's got the itch between his fingers. So let's everybody stay where they are.
It will be a moment before the curtain rises on Act 2 of our play, The Petrified Forest. A moment in which we'd like to add our thoughts to those of the motorists in our audience who are giving a bit more attention to things like tire chains and heaters and windshield defrosters, and to the kind of gasoline they put in their tanks. Because winter helps all of us realize that the right gasoline has to combine a number of different advantages. Just one advantage isn't enough. And that's why good Gulf gasoline and Gulf no-NOx gasoline, in their respective fields, have been designed to give you tops on every count. Take the important matter of anti-knock rating, for instance. No matter what car you own, no matter what road conditions you encounter, you will be more than delighted with the anti-knock performance of good Gulf and Gulf no-NOx. And you'll be just as pleased with the quick, snappy starts, the smooth power, and the high mileage. That's because the Gulf people improve their gasolines constantly, not just in one way, but in every way. They give you an even better gasoline today than they did 6 months ago, just as 6 months ago it was better than the year before. So, for high anti-knock plus all-round quality, buy your gas the way millions of car owners do, at the sign of the Gulf Orange Disc.
Thank you, John Conti. And now the curtain in the Gulf Theater is about to rise on the second act of tonight's play, The Petrified Forest, starring Joan Bennett, Tyrone Power, and Humphrey Bogart. It's 2 hours later. Duke Mantee and his prisoners are seated, but the air is charged and tense. The tables are littered with dishes and empty bottles. The radio's playing a dance tune.
Bring me another bottle of beer, sister.
Hey, Duke, we've been here 2 hours. When are we going to lay him out of here?
When they get here.
You mean when that blonde gets here? I think we're nuts to wait around
Nobody
here.
asked you.
Here's your beer.
Thanks, sister. Anybody else want a drink?
I think I'm about ready for another one, Gabrielle, if I may.
Listen, panhandler, who told you you could call her by her first name?
Shut up, Bose.
You think you own her just because she kissed you, huh? Well, let me tell you something, wise guy. She's pretty generous with her kisses. What do you think she was doing in my arms when you walked in, huh?
Bose, that's a lie and you know
Oh,
it.
you mustn't blame Bose for anything he says tonight, Gabrielle. He's under a terrific tension, just like the rest of us.
All the low, dirty,
Oh,
rotten...
I didn't mean it, honey. I'm sorry. They got me absolutely crazy mad with those shotguns and machine guns staring me in the face.
That's all it is, Gabrielle. You'd better have a drink, old man.
I love you, Gabby. I love you, sweetheart. If I thought I'd done or said anything to hurt you, I'd go over and hang one on those dirty yellow rats.
What was that, pal? Another crack like
No,
that?
I'd be a
No.
little more tactful, Bose. Remember, these gentlemen here are your guests.
Oh, honey, it doesn't make any difference to you what I'm trying to tell you. You don't know what it's like to be really crazy about somebody.
I know better than you think.
Well, how could you? Say, who were you ever crazy about?
It's none of your business. But if you've got to know, it's him.
What?
You mean that panhandler? Did you ever see him before?
No, but that doesn't matter. I love him. I don't think I'll ever love anybody else.
Can I possibly be drunk?
Well, I wouldn't doubt it, the way you've been hitting that bottle.
When he started to leave, I felt as if something were being taken out of me, sort of as if I were coming out of a dream. I caught on to myself, and I knew I was just another desert rat, and I'll never be anything else. I'd better get rid of all that girlish bunk that was in me, like thinking so much about going to France and art and amounting to something. I'd better make the best of what I can find right here and settle down and marry Bose.
Oh, no, Gabrielle.
You don't give a hoot about me. You never could, Alan. I can see that plain enough. Why kid myself that I'll ever be anything else but what I am?
You mustn't talk that way, Gabrielle.
Why not?
Because you're the future. You're the renewal of vitality and courage and aspiration. It's essential to me that you don't ever forget that. Your youth and hope. There must be some way.
Sit down, pal. Jackie, turn off that radio.
Okay.
What do you care whether I sit or stand?
I got to think about my health, pal.
If I had a machine gun, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I want to talk to him. It's important.
Me?
You can talk sitting down. I heard you doing it.
Very well.
What's that, our horn?
Yeah, I guess Ruby's getting a little fidgety. It's getting late.
Go outside and tell him we don't land till I say so. And tell him not
Right.
to hit that horn again unless somebody comes along that looks like trouble. And to hit it plenty.
Okay, Duke.
Well, my friend, what's on your mind?
Those Liberty bonds of yours. What are you going to do with them?
Going to leave them where they are.
Yes. Leave them where they are. Your granddaughter is stifling and suffocating in this desert when a few of your thousands would give her the chance to claim her birthright.
She'll get it when she needs it. When she has a family of her own to support. And probably a good-for-nothing unemployed husband.
Is that the future you want her to have? You were a pioneer once, but what are you now? A mean old miser hanging onto that money as though it meant something. Why in heaven's name don't you die and do the world some good?
He must be drunk.
Yeah, drunk. Or just about the lowest grade heel I ever run across. What do you mean talking to an old man like that? I ought to put the lug on you.
All right, man, T. Put him up. Now I got you. I've been waiting all evening for a chance to catch you off guard. I've been watching this shotgun ever since you put it on the table.
Bose, look out!
Oh,
Get that shotgun, Jackie.
Are you hurt, Bose?
he got me in a hand.
So you try to be brave, huh, wise guy?
Yeah, and I'd have gotten away with it if you hadn't walked in.
Take him in there and bandage him up, sister. He'll be all right. Go with him, Jackie. Tie him up and leave him in there.
Okay. Come on, tin horn hero.
Oh, Lord, I had my chance and I muffed it. I could have.
Now listen. I let that mug make a mug out of me, but don't any of you try it again. Just keep in mind that I and the boys are candidates for hanging. The first time anybody makes a wrong move, I'm going to kill the whole lot of you. So keep your seats.
Say, Duke,
Yeah?
would you mind passing me that knapsack?
What do you want with it?
I want to get out my life insurance policy. If you reach in there, you'll find a bundle of papers and a fountain pen.
What do you want with your insurance? You expecting to die?
You've guessed it, Mr. Maple.
Is this what you want?
Oh, yes, thanks. Now, Duke, I have a great favor to ask of you.
Yeah?
I don't think you'll refuse it because you're a man of imagination. You're not afraid to do rather outlandish things.
What are you getting at, pal?
This insurance policy, it's my only asset. It's for $5,000. Now, I'm writing on the policy that I want the money paid to that young lady in there. With Mr. Maple here to witness my signature, I'm sure it'll be all right.
Now, what's all that got to do with me?
Just this, Duke. After I've signed, I wish... Well, I'd be much obliged if you'd just kill me.
Why, Jiminy, he is drunk.
Sure. And having a fine time showing off.
Of course I'm showing off. I'm trying to outdo Bose in gallantry. But can't you see that I mean it? I'm in love with her, and I want to show her that I believe in her. How else can I do it? Living, I'm worth nothing to her. Dead, I can buy her the tallest cathedrals and golden vineyards and dancing in the streets. One well-directed bullet will accomplish all that. And will gain a measure of reflected glory for him who fired it and him who stopped it. Will you do it, Duke?
I'll be glad to. Just let me know when you want to be killed.
Well, pick your own moment, Duke. Say, just before you leave.
I'd like to tell you just one thing, my friend.
What is that, Mr. Maple?
There ain't a woman alive or ever did live that's worth $5,000.
And let me tell you one thing. You're a forgetful old fool. Any woman is worth anything that any man has to give. Anguish, ecstasy, faith, Jealousy, love, hatred, life, or death. Don't you see? That's the excuse for our existence. It's what makes the whole thing possible and tolerable. And there's a man who agrees with me. Don't you, Duke?
I couldn't say, pal. I wasn't listening.
Then permit me to speak for you. He could have been over the border long ago and safe, but he prefers to stay here and risk his life. And do you know why?
Why?
Because he has a rendezvous here with a girl. Isn't that true, Duke?
Yes, pal, that's it. I guess we're all a lot of saps, but I wouldn't be surprised if you was the champion. Did you think I was kidding when I said I'd be glad to knock you off?
I hope that neither of us was kidding. You know, you gave me the idea, Duke, when you called me a low-grade heel.
I take it back. You're all right, pal. You got good ideas. I'll try to fix it so that it won't hurt.
You're all right, too, Duke. I'd like to meet you again someday.
Maybe it'll be soon.
Then you'd better come with me, Duke. I'm planning to be buried in the Petrified Forest. I've been evolving a theory about that would interest you. It's the graveyard of the civilization that's been shot from under us. It's the world of outmoded ideas. There are all so many dead stumps in the desert. That's where I belong. And so do you, Duke. For you're the last great apostle of rugged individualism, aren't you?
I wouldn't know, pal.
Oh, how's Bose, Gabrielle?
He'll be all right.
You tie him up, Jackie?
Yeah. Say, Duke, something must have happened to him. Maybe they picked Doris up. It's after 10 o'clock.
We'll give him a few more minutes.
A few more minutes. I must talk to you, Gabrielle.
You can wait until after they're gone.
No, I can't wait. I have to tell you now that I love you. I tell you that solemnly and with all the heart that's left in me.
Hey, Duke, are we waiting just to listen to this?
Shut up.
You've got to believe it, Gabrielle. And you've got to remember it. Because, you see, you're my only chance of survival. You'll remember a line in Villon that fits that. Something about, thus in your field, my seed of harvestry will thrive. I've provided barren soil for that seed. But you'll give it fertility and growth and fruition. And after I'm gone...
Alan.
Hey, get back there.
Leave him alone.
Alan, if you're going away, I'm going with you, wherever it is.
Hey, Duke, it's the cops.
3 cars full of them.
Maybe Doris squealed. I knew that dame would get us into trouble. Now will you lamb out of here while we still got a chance?
Ruby, get back to that car and get that motor running. Take that Tommy gun, get over by that window, Jackie. Switch
Right.
out those lights, sister. Now, down on the floor, everybody. Come on fast. Close together in the middle. All right, Jackie, let him have it.
Okay.
Show me them pans.
Oh, it's an inspiring moment, isn't it, Gabrielle? The United States of America versus Duke Mantee. It almost restores in me the will to live and love and conquer.
Getting any of them, Duke?
No, but we're forcing them over toward the shadow of that mesa on the other side of the house. They're only cover. Once we get enough of them over there, we'll lamb.
Alan, when you get to France, what do you see first?
Customs officers,
But what's the first real sight you see?
the fields and forests of Normandy, and then
What, Alan?
the fields and forests of Normandy, and then Paris.
Keep it up, Jackie. We got him moving over.
Paris. That's the most marvelous place in the world for love, isn't it?
All places are marvelous,
Even here.
especially here, my darling.
Alan. Alan, will you please kiss me?
Okay, Jackie, we're pulling out.
Good.
Now, listen, folks, you've had a pleasant evening here, and I'd hate to spoil it with any killing at the finish. So you better stay right where you are for a while.
Oh, wait a minute, Duke. You're not forgetting me.
Alan, keep down.
Duke!
Get out of that doorway, pal.
Alan.
Duke, you promised.
Do you still want it?
But it's no matter whether I want it or not, you've got to.
Okay, pal.
Ah!
I'll be seeing you soon.
Holy mackerel, he meant it.
Alan. Alan. Graham, go get Bose. He knows about first aid.
It's all right, Gabrielle. It doesn't hurt. It'll be over in a minute.
No, Alan, no. Bose, Graham, somebody, come here quick.
I had to come all this way to find a reason. Oh, if people only had enough nerve, they'd always find.
Alan,
Always find.
what, Alan? What did you say? Alan! Oh, no, don't worry, Alan. I'm not going to be a crybaby about it. I know you died happy. Didn't you, Alan? Didn't you?
Gabby. Gabby. Are you all right, honey?
He's dead.
Sure he is. Mantee couldn't have missed twice.
We'll bury him out there in the Petrified Forest. That's what he wanted.
Yes, by Godfrey, he said so. You know, Bose, the funny thing about him... he said
Thus
that
in your
God-
field, my seed of harvestry will thrive. For the fruit is like me, that I set store by.
Yes, sir, he was the darndest fella I ever did see. Couldn't make him out.
God bids me tend it with good husbandry. This is the end for which we twain are met.
Thank you, Joan, Ty, and Humphrey, for a swell performance. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our stars are here before the curtain of the Gulf Theater, ready to take part in the Gulf Question Box. If you remember, they must answer my questions correctly or pay a forfeit. You ready, everybody?
Do we all play, Roger?
Well, Joan, I ask as many questions as we have time for, and everybody plays except Oscar Bradley and John Conti.
Oh, what do they do?
Well, Oscar has to watch his music cues.
Yes, and just what do you do, Johnny?
Who, me? Oh, mostly I just stand here watching and thinking.
Oh, thinking, eh? About what?
Oh, about lots of things. For instance, I was just thinking that it's about this time of the year so many of us begin to ask ourselves, how will the old car stand the winter? Up north, we're beginning to realize that a regular morning tussle between the starter and a cold motor is pretty tough on the battery. Further south, winter road conditions may make the running gear of our cars seem a bit stiff and squeaky. Well, if you want to laugh at winter troubles instead of worrying about them, stop tomorrow at your neighborhood Good Gulf dealers. Your Gulf man will help you toward quicker starting with some easy-flowing Gulf Pride motor oil in the crankcase and some winter-grade Gulf Flex lubricant in the gearbox. And down south as well as up north, Gulf Flex lubrication service will make your car ride easier and steer easier for a longer period of time. Yes, sir, it doesn't cost a penny more to have your car Gulf Flexed with Gulf's newly developed lubricants, and it does help you end winter motoring worries. Gulf even takes care of your radiator with a new permanent antifreeze that lasts all winter long. For complete protection for your car from front to back, stop at your neighborhood Good Gulf dealers.
Thank you, Johnny. And now for the question box. Our first question goes to Tyrone Power, now at work on the 20th Century Fox picture, Dance with the Devil. Ty, what star, famous for her portrayal of the young wife on the screen, was once known as the fastest girl acrobat in the country?
Penny Singleton.
You're absolutely...
Dagwood's wife in the Blondie
That's
series.
right. That's right, Ty. Absolutely right. And now, our next question goes to Joan Bennett, who will soon be seen in the Walter Wanger picture, House Across the Bay. Joan, here's your question. If you were swimming at a certain beach along the rock-bound coast of Maine a few years ago, and you hollered for help, which of the following stars would probably have come to your rescue? Johnny Weissmuller, Betty Davis, Chester Morris, or Joan Blondell?
Bobby Breen.
No, that's a pretty good guess, but I'm afraid it's not quite right. It was Betty Davis, who spent a summer as a lifeguard at a beach in Maine. And Betty Davis will be with us next Sunday in a most unusual play written by Arch Obler. And now, Joan, for your forfeit. I will name 3 motion pictures, and you have to give a sound effects preview of each. Now, don't look over there. They can't help you, honey. Of every one of them. First of all, Drums Along the Mohawk. A sound effects preview.
Boom, 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 boom. Mohawk.
Well, that's a good starter. However, that's only one. Number 2 is Union Pacific. Union Pacific.
Woo-hoo!
Well, that's very good so far. And the third and last one, and this is really a tough one. Gone with the Wind. Careful now.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Joan. That was swell. And thank you, Tyrone Power, Joan Bennett, and Humphrey Bogart again. Ladies and gentlemen, the announcement I'm about to make is a most important one for several reasons. Next week, here in the Gulf Theater, we bring you Betty Davis, brilliant twice winner of the Academy Award. Her play is the most unusual we've ever attempted. It's so extraordinary in story and scope and so startlingly new in radio technique that we believe you will long remember it as a truly unique experience. It will have a special Tchaikovsky score arranged by Oscar Bradley, so be sure to listen, won't you? Good. Until then, this is Roger Pryor saying, good night, everybody, for your neighborhood Good Gulf Theater.
Humphrey Bogart is currently appearing in Warner Brothers' Invisible Stripes. The Gulf Screen Guild Theater originated at Earl Carroll's Columbia Square, Hollywood. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Gulf Screen Guild Theater.
Your neighborhood good golf dealer and the Gulf Oil Companies welcome you to the Gulf Theater, the one place where you meet all your favorite stars. Tonight we bring you the brilliant and charming twice winner of the Motion Picture Academy Award, Bette Davis, supported by one of the finest and largest radio casts ever assembled. Also Oscar Bradley and his Gulf Orchestra. And now here is the director of the Gulf Theater and your host, Roger Pryor.
Good evening, everyone. I'm especially proud to be the director of the Gulf Theater tonight because I sincerely believe we're about to present a play that will long be remembered. Bette Davis, her supporting players, the author Arch Oboler, and Oscar Bradley and his augmented Gulf Orchestra have spent many long hours in rehearsal to bring to perfection one of the strangest, almost unbelievable love stories ever told. The great and undying romance of Nadezhda Filaretovna and Pyotr Tchaikovsky. The same Tchaikovsky who was the composer of the lyric Romeo and Juliet Overture, which has been the theme of the Gulf Screen Guild Theater since the curtain first rose a year ago this month. On our first broadcast, just as today, spokesman for your neighborhood good Gulf dealer was John Conte, who has something worthwhile speaking about right now. Johnny?
Thank you, Roger. 40 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, travel by airplane was an inventor's dream. 20 years ago, it was still something of an adventure. But today, it's a practical, everyday affair, thanks to experts whose experience has taught them exactly what various planes and motors can do, and what various gasolines and motor oils can do also, which is what makes it news to you as a motorist when Captain Eddie Rickenbacker and his engineers at the famous Eastern Airlines announce,
"This year, Eastern Airlines has again selected, for use throughout its entire system, the same gasoline and motor oil that have already been used exclusively for more than 5 years. Gulf gasoline and Gulf motor oil."
Yes, Eastern Airline planes operating between New York and Miami, New York and Brownsville, Texas, and Chicago and both coasts of Florida have now flown the astonishing total of 300 million passenger revenue miles using Gulf gas and motor oil, and have hung up a record for safety and efficiency that's the envy of the industry. More mileage, complete dependability, top performance. The same things you want for your car are what led Eastern Airlines to select Gulf products for the air, just as millions of motorists select them for the highway. So next time, why not take a tip from Captain Rickenbacker and his experts and stop at the sign of the orange disc for Gulf quality gasoline and motor oil.
In a darkened room sits a woman, an old woman. She sits very quietly, white hands motionless. This is a room in a fashionable house in the city of the Imperial Russia of 1893. The Russia of great poverty and great riches, of great ignorance and great art. The old woman sits, motionless, listening to the thoughts in her mind.
Pyotr, why are you in my mind? Why do I think of you now? Why is your song with me here in the darkness? Why today, Pyotr? I had put you away from me. Why have you come back today, Pyotr?
Of the utmost importance that you listen to me.
Who is it said that to me?
Madame, it is of the utmost importance that you listen.
Ah, yes. I remember now. 16 years ago. It was you, Nikolai Rubinstein. You have been dead so long, yet I remember what you said that day. How strange I should remember.
Nadezhda Filaretovna, my mission here is of the utmost importance.
Really, Nikolai?
There is a young man in my music school of great poverty and pride and shyness.
I am very busy today.
There is one more quality this young man possesses which may interest you. His ability. Listen closely.
Nikolai, I have neither the time nor the inclination for music now. What music was this? What music was this you began to play, Nikolai Rubinstein? So many years, and yet I hear it. Music, and yet not music. A voice, a man's voice, singing to me. Saying, you are tired, Nadezhda. I tell you, there will be no weariness. You are old, Nadezhda. I tell you, you will be young. You will have life again, a glorious singing life. I tell you this, Nadezhda. I tell you this, I tell you this. When you had finished, Nikolai, I remember I said, Nikolai, tell me, whose is that?
His name? No one you've heard of. Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky.
So I heard your name for the first time, Pyotr.
Will you help this man, Nadezhda Filaretovna?
Would I help you, Pyotr? No, would you help me?
Private railroads. Good investment. Townhouse. Country house.
In the
Ah, yes, I had those.
Trishka, Yulia,
Yes, yes, my children, I had them. But,
Nothing.
yes, nothing for me. How could I explain to Nikolai, to anyone? To run a house, to count my money. Was this enough for life for me? I wanted... You said what I wanted, Pyotr. Help you? Yes, always. In a moment, my pen was in my hand. I would write you, yes. I was a woman past middle age. My husband was dead, and my children were growing in their own lives. And I had nothing, and I must have something. You, Pyotr, you. The music in you. If I could give it life and reality in my life. No. I threw the pen from me. What madness had come over me. I didn't need man nor God. I would pay you for your music and have done with you, yes. And then... the concert that very night. Your music. When it was over.
Unimportant. All of it. Definitely unimportant.
Oh, no. The night was singing with your song, Pyotr. And I walked in the dark along the boulevard to my home. Soft flakes of snow wet in my face. And with every step there was a singing in my heart that said...
Help me. I need your help, Nadezhda. They torture me with their indifference. I've written so much, and it's meant so little. I'm weary unto death. Help me. Help me.
I told myself, yes, I would always help you, Pyotr. Do you remember your next letter?
Dear Nadezhda Filaretovna, thank you for your sweet, kind, and friendly letter, and your wonderful and kind generosity. I finished the outline of my new symphony, The Fourth.
A symphony?
I want very much to dedicate it to you.
A symphony? Dedicated to me? How the days ran then, Pyotr. I, an elderly woman, a symphony dedicated to me.
Oh, Mother, it's good to hear you laughing. You're very pretty when you laugh, Mother. Oh, we're so happy that you're happy, Mother, dearest. So happy.
And then 3 months, Pyotr. 3 months and not a word from you. What had happened to you, my friend? What?
Cholera.
No, that couldn't be true. But with every day, the voices in my head grew louder and louder. No, stop saying that. Not Pyotr. He couldn't. Postman? A letter? Your handwriting, Pyotr.
You must forgive me for not writing before. I am now...
What was that word?
Married.
Oh, I must have read it wrong, I told myself. I held the letter close to my eyes.
Married.
Oh, no.
Married. Married.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You never knew I cried that day, did you, Piotr? Yes, I cried, as a woman cries in my heart. And when I stopped crying, I dipped my pen in my tears, and I wrote you. With all my heart, I congratulate you, my dear friend. Who should be happy if not you? The giver of such great joy to others. From my heart, I press your hand. Do not forget one devoted with all her soul. The days after that, like the days after someone who was close to you has gone away forever. Everything is just the same, and yet nothing is the same. Who was she? This woman who had taken your heart? Was she very young? I love you, my husband. Would she understand you? Would she respect your shyness, suffer your angers and fires of music blazed in you, humor your child's ways, strengthen your uncertainties, respect your greatness? Oh, I asked myself all this 1,000 times in the days that crawled on. Would she do all these things for you, Piotr, that anyone who truly loved you would do? How could there be an answer? No, this was my destiny. To watch the days and the years spin around nothing, into nothing, always nothing. To need no one, and to have no one who needed me. How strange the nights I remember now, Piotr.
Good night, Mother. Sleep well, Mother.
I lay down on my bed. Sleep, yes. Sleep and forget. What? The river? A dream. Why should I dream this dream? My name? Had someone called my name? Yes, again. Who was it? In my dream I wanted to see. I had to see a man in the water. His arms lifted toward me. I saw. Piotr, you! The children? Servants in the room?
Oh, Mother, what is it? Mother, you're awake and smiling.
Yes, Piotr. Somehow I knew then you still needed me. I sent for Rubinstein.
This I can say with certainty. If he stays with that wife Antonina of his, Tchaikovsky will end his life either in an asylum or in the river.
The river? Oh, Piotr, when I heard that word, my heart died in me. But I said nothing, Piotr, afraid he would laugh at me, say.
Oh, woman, are you coming between a husband and his bride?
So I waited for you to turn to me, Piotr. Waited. Rumors. I began to hear rumors. And from what they said, I began to see the whole horrible picture of her.
Why are you doing that, Piotr? Where are you going, Piotr? What are you
Oh,
doing,
this was the woman my friend had taken. Yes, this was Antonina. How clearly I saw her, grinding his heart away with her miserable, why this, and do this, and don't that, put an end. An end to this leech in your veins, Piotr. I said it. I would. And I did.
He's gone off to Italy, of all places. This unpredictable Piotr Ilyich. To Italy. without that new wife of his, and to write a new symphony, no less. I wonder where he got the money.
Ah, clever Nikolai Rubinstein. I think he knew Piotr. Ah, what did it matter? You were free to work. And as you worked, you would live. And as you lived, Piotr, I lived. Last the day.
The 22nd of February.
The day, yes. The conservatory. So many lights, so many people. The conductor bowed to the right and to the left. The batteur up, down. Oh, Piotr. Mine. Yes, my own. Out of the mind and out of the heart of you for me. I sat there yet. I was with you, Piotr. Yes, with you. For the first time, even in thought. Alone with you. As young as you.
Not very ordinary.
Over. No, not over. Someone thrust a program into my hand.
Don't you want a souvenir of the evening?
I looked at the paper. The words I could hardly see. Fourth Symphony of Piotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky. Dedicated.
My beloved friend.
Oh, Piotr. If the rest of my life could have been at that moment. And yet only your letters talking to me. Oh, Piotr. Walking in the night, I was lonely. I wanted your footsteps echoing mine. I wanted your voice answering mine. I wanted to see you, Piotr. Yes, why not? Why not? The thoughts in you are as my thoughts. The dreams in you are as my dreams. The music in you mine. You'd written that to me 100 times. Then why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I see you? Oh, the want in me was so great. Did the heavens have pity?
Mother?
Yes, Milochka.
Mother, look. The other carriage. It stopped.
Driver. Stop at once. I looked up. My heart began to beat so strongly, I could feel the pulse of it in my throat, the sound of it in my ears. You, Piotr. You, older than your photograph. But you. My heart beat louder and louder. I wanted to. Your eyes. In a quick moment, I saw what you were thinking.
Nadezhda Filaretovna, I beg you, do not speak. Your wealth has given me solitude, and in this solitude is my music. Speak, and you destroy the silence which brings me my music. Speak, and you destroy the wordless perfection of our friendship.
And so, I did not speak, Piotr. How could I speak? What answer can there be when a young man says to an older woman, "This is our friendship. Dare to change it and you destroy it." So I did not speak, Piotr. Through all the years, I did not speak. But your music, always a wonder of your music. How they began to applaud you.
I always said the man's a genius. A medal from the Tsar himself.
Yes. Let them pat you on the back with the quick flattery of their useless hands. It didn't matter as long as you wrote your music, Piotr. For me. Happy years, busy years. There was no weariness. I had love. And you gave it to me, Piotr. You. And it would last forever. Your need of me was as great as my need of you. So all of it would last as long as we lived. And I was young again, and life was good, Piotr. Everlastingly good, everlastingly. No. There was my son.
He is dying, madame.
My son dying?
He has been working beyond his strength. The illness caught him quite weakened. He is dying, madame.
Working beyond his strength. For what? For me. For the money Piotr, the thought a knife in my heart. I went into the room. Was this Fatima? My firstborn, my dear.
Mother.
Fatima.
Help me. Help me.
Help me. Help me. Whose words? Ah, you, Piotr. Yes, for 13 years, forgotten children and home. Only you, my every waking thought, you, and the help of you. Now those same words from my son.
Help me, Mother. Help me.
Yes. For 13 years I had sinned against him. But now I would help him. At his bedside I said it. Not a prayer. Who was I to pray? You up there, whoever and whatever you are, listen to me. Let him live, my son. Let him live even a little longer, and I will give up all else but my children. Let him live, my son. So the compact was made, Piotr, between God and me, and all these years I have kept it. My son lived a little longer, and I died when I wrote you that letter. That letter full of the bitterness of lies, telling you it was ended between us. But all lies, Piotr. For now I tell you the truth. I love you, Piotr. There, I've said it. Last I've said I love you, Piotr. As a woman loves a man. A young woman. Young. Oh, Piotr. Piotr, why have I told you now? You're so far away, and yet why have I spoken? After all these years, what I have never dared even think. Why? The church bells? Why do they ring so late at night? Oh, Piotr, I remember. They told me, and my poor old head had forgotten. Yesterday they carried you through the streets. Thousands of them, mourning, carried you and put you to rest. Piotr, why are you in my mind? Why have I thought of you now? Why was your song with me here in the darkness? Why today I put you away from me? Why have you come back today, Piotr? Talk to me as I have talked to you.
Dear friend, be assured I shall remember you and bless you until my last breath.
Ah, your last letter to me.
Probably you yourself do not realize the extent of what you have done for me. Never for one moment have I forgotten you, nor will I forget you, because every thought I have concerning myself concerns you also. I kiss your hand with all the warmth my heart contains.
I kiss your hand with all the warmth my heart contains. Oh, Piotr. Piotr, I am so weary. I want to rest. Sing me to sleep now. Beloved friend.
Thank you, Betty Davis. Congratulations on a wonderful performance. And thanks to you, Arch Obler, for a magnificent play, and to you, Oscar Bradley, for your superb scoring and conducting. Ladies and gentlemen, you never saw a more excited audience in all your life, because in just a moment, Betty Davis is going to receive another award. Yes, another award to add to the 2 awards she's already received from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science. This is really a great night here in the Gulf Theater, one we'll never forget. How do you feel about it, Johnny?
Oh, the same way you do, Rod. Say, who's going to give the award to Betty?
Mr. Douglas Churchill of Red Book Magazine. Look, Johnny, will you take over for a minute? I'll check and see if the newsreel cameramen and Mr. Churchill and Miss Davis are ready.
Okay, Roger, I'll follow through and check something with all the motorists listening in. Ladies and gentlemen, when you go out for a walk in winter, the chances are you look first to see that you have your gloves or perhaps your overshoes and a scarf, to be sure that you have everything that you need. Well, in somewhat the same way, when you start off in your car, it's a good idea to use a gasoline that has everything you need. During winter especially, it's not enough for a gasoline to be good in just one way. It should be good in every way. Knowing this, Gulf engineers are constantly at work to step up the all-round quality of that good Gulf gasoline and Gulf no-NOx gasoline, each in its own class. As a result, your good Gulf dealer gives you even better gasoline today than 6 months ago, just as 6 months ago he delivered a better gasoline than the year before. For instance, take the important matter of anti-knock rating. Now, you may own a 1940 model or an older car. You may want hill climbing or smooth, quick acceleration in traffic. Whatever your needs, you'll be delighted with the smooth running performance of Gulf gasolines. And you'll be just as pleased with the quick, cold weather starts and the high mileage even on winter roads. Yes, folks, for high anti-knock and high quality on all other points, too, look ahead when you buy gasoline. Look ahead for the sign of the Gulf orange dip.
Thank you, John. Ladies and gentlemen, Red Book Magazine has chosen the Gulf Theater to make its first award because this is the Star's own theater. Every cent that Gulf would ordinarily pay to the stars to appear here is given instead to help meet the needs of the Motion Picture Relief Fund. Douglas W. Churchill, motion picture editor of Red Book, is here to present Red Book's first annual award to Miss Betty Davis, whom they consider has done the most during the year for the artistic advancement of the screen in any of its branches. Mr. Churchill.
Thank you, Mr. Pryor. Miss Davis, we of Red Book know very little about what goes on behind the scenes in Hollywood, because Red Book is not a fan magazine. But my editors and I are thankful to you for aiding and making going to the movies a pleasurable experience. During 1939, you made 4 of the year's finest films for Warner Brothers: Dark Victory, Juarez, The Old Maid, and The Private Lives of Elizabeth and Essex. Red Book is happy that we selected 3 of them as our picture of the month.
Well, Mr. Churchill, I'm indebted to Red Book for one of those stories, The Old Maid. And in the current issue is the beginning of Somerset Maugham's The Villa on the Hill, which I will do for Warner Brothers when we've finished All This in Heaven, too.
Well, we're proud of that. And now, Miss Davis, here in the Gulf Theater, it is my pleasure to give you this cup on behalf of our editors and our 4 million readers for your distinguished contribution to the art of the motion picture during 1939.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Churchill. In accepting it, I am conscious again of the great debt that I owe to press and public, both of which have accepted my efforts in a most kind and friendly manner. To Mr. Edwin Varma, the editor of Red Book, to Mr. Valdemar Vetlugrin, and to you, my sincere thanks. And to my radio audience, I wish I could say, like the delighted woman that I am, see what I got.
Thank you, Betty Davis and Mr. Churchill. And ladies and gentlemen, be sure to join us in the Gulf Theater next week when we bring you Douglas Fairbanks Jr., Paulette Goddard, Frank Morgan, Roy Dorsey, Mary Forbes, Margot Stevenson, and Oscar Bradley and his Gulf Orchestra. Listen in, won't you? Good. Until then, this is Roger Pryor saying, good night, everybody, for your neighborhood good Gulf Theater.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. The Gulf Screen Guild Theater. Your neighborhood good golf dealer and the Gulf Oil Companies welcome you to the Gulf Theater, the one place where you meet all your favorite stars. Tonight we bring you Douglas Fairbanks Jr., Paulette Goddard, Frank Morgan, Roy Darcy, Mary Forbes, Margot Stevenson, and of course Oscar Bradley and his Gulf Orchestra. And now your host, the director of the Gulf Theater, Roger Pryor.
Good evening, everyone. Our play tonight is largely concerned with the adventures of two violent gentlemen who lived in a violent age. The time is around 1500. The place is Florence, Italy, and the plot, well, even in those days, it all boiled down to this. Fairbanks meets girl, Morgan meets girl, both chase girl, Paulette Goddard is girl. Oh, boy. The far from innocent bystanders are the Duchess, played by Mary Forbes, the Duke's bodyguard, played by Roy Darcy, and the beautiful servant girl, played by Margot Stevenson. And they all owe their hilarious troubles to the comedy genius of Edwin Justice Mayer. Before I give the cue that rings up the curtain on tonight's play, I'd like to tip my hat in the direction of the stars who appear with us here in the Gulf Theater. Of course, this is the Star's own theater, and we do have a lot of fun during our long rehearsals, but sometimes they occur under pretty trying circumstances. And so today, a special bow to Douglas Fairbanks Jr. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, our cause is a great one. All the money that Gulf would ordinarily pay to the stars who appear here is given instead to the Motion Picture Relief Fund for its needs and to build a home for the less fortunate members of the industry. And now you're about to meet history's first glamour boy, Benvenuto Cellini. Our first glimpse of the celebrated artist Cellini is more dashing than romantic as he hot-foots it down an alley in the direction of his studio workshop. He leaps up the steps 5 at a time and beats frantically on the door.
Master!
Amelia, quick, help me bolt the door.
Oh, yes, Master.
Angela, don't stand there. Do something, anything.
Yes, sir. What shall I do?
Well, do? What can you do? What can anyone do? Already my neck feels the hangman's rope.
Oh, you've been fighting again.
Amelia, my faithful servant, you will not fail me. Go to the Cardinal. Beg him to speak to the Duke in my behalf.
Instantly, Master.
Oh, I'm a dead man.
Signor Cellini,
What is it, Angela?
do you wish me to pose? Shall I change my costume?
Must I see you only with a chisel in my hand? You never think of me as a man as well as an artist?
Oh, but my mother...
Don't mention that hag.
Yes, sir.
And don't call me sir. It is my desire that you call me Benvenuto.
Yes, sir. Benvenuto.
Let me hear you say that again.
Benvenuto.
Oh, seraphs and nightingales, your songs are less than her common speech. Oh, Angela. Angela, I'm a violent and dreadful man, covered with the blood of my enemies.
Oh, I'd forgotten your danger.
Don't interrupt me when I'm speaking so well.
I'm sorry, Benvenuto.
And to think that you came into my life at its very end. Angela, today I killed a man.
Benvenuto? Who?
Mafio. Let me tell you about it. Aha. I was coming home through the narrow street. You know the one.
Yes?
When I noticed 3 fellows standing on one side and 4 on the other. Thinking nothing of the overwhelming odds, for we Cellinis have been famous with sword and dagger for centuries. I cut my way through to Mafio and left my weapon in his throat.
You killed him.
I killed him dead. And now the Duke will probably hang me.
Oh, when you say that, I could cry.
And if I am hanged, how long will you cry?
All of the day. Unless my mother beats me and makes me stop.
You're very beautiful.
You're very handsome.
You're like flowing gold, ready to be shaped into a woman.
I am already a woman.
You're the matin in the morning, and the angelus in the evening. The bell which awakens me, and the bell which says, rest.
But you must not come near me. My mother's forbidden that.
What do I care what your mother forbids? You must think as I think, do as I do.
Oh!
Aha.
My mother.
Oh, she must think as you think and do as you do, eh?
Yes, and not all the mothers in Italy shall stop it.
I shall stop it.
What sort of a mother are you to ruin your daughter's greatest chance for happiness?
See, Angela? He turns you against me before my very face.
Your face? You call that thing you wear a face?
Angela, out of this house.
Madam, I've noticed of late that you're growing a beard. It doesn't become you.
Out, Angela. We are through with this firebrand.
Don't you dare step outside that door.
What do you want?
I want Angela for my wife.
And what about me?
You are to make yourself scarce. I might say invisible.
How can I give up my daughter, the light of my life?
I'll give you 30 ducats to acquire more light.
I cannot. 50 ducats.
30 ducats.
50 or nothing.
Very well, nothing.
Oh, Mother, please, you don't know him. He means it.
You have no consideration. I am a mother.
Come, yes or no?
Oh, very well. I will not stand in Angela's way.
Heaven is at my threshold. Oh, Angela.
Benvenuto, darling. Benvenuto. Master.
Amelia, what's the word?
The Duke knows already what you've done. What is this?
He has killed a man, Mother.
A man? 3 men. They swarmed about me. But my wedding day shall not be my hanging day. Angela, Amelia, we leave Florence forever and at once.
Oh, Benvenuto, you're so clever.
How about my money?
You take your daughter home, put her belongings in a box, send her back to me, and you shall have your money.
Oh, good. Come, Angela.
Goodbye, Benvenuto.
And if you are hanged afterwards, so much the better.
Such a sweet soul, that mother. Like gall and wormwood.
In the street, they speak of your fight. Was it a goodly fight?
Oh, let me tell you about it, Amelia. I was coming through the narrow street. You know the one.
Do I?
And I noticed 10 fellows standing on one side and 12 on the other. Thinking nothing of the overwhelming odds.
We Cellinis have been famous with sword and dagger for centuries.
I cut my way through to Mafio and left my weapon in his throat.
That dagger now at your waist?
You doubt me?
No, I disbelieve you.
What?
You see, my brother witnessed the fight.
Oh. But I did kill Mafio. The Duke. Amelia, I'm done.
Open the door! In the name of the great
Master,
Duke.
what shall we do?
Open the door!
You heard what he said. Open the door.
Ah, Cellini.
My poor house is more than honored by the presence of your excellency.
Yes, your poor house would be more than honored by the presence of any peaceful man. Yeah, that wasn't bad, was it, Ottaviano? Capital, my lord.
I fear that your excellency has been listening to my enemies.
Your crimes, your enemies. By the saints, I grow better and better. I amaze myself.
And I cannot be peaceful when I am insulted. I try to pattern myself too much after your excellency.
Well, that's very good.
Did my lord forget this morning's murder?
Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Cellini, this morning in broad daylight, you spilled blood on the streets of Florence once again.
Oh, but in self-defense, my lord. Mafio attacked me. Attacked me with a whole regiment at his heels.
The whole regiment?
Well, perhaps not a regiment. But enough. My lord, only this I ask. Give me leave to go to France.
The King of France is my friend, and I'll not wish you on him. Therefore, Cellini, in full justice, I sentence you to the... Oh, hello.
Angela.
Very good, my lord.
No, not at all. Here, come closer. Don't be afraid. Well, Cellini, what's this?
She is my model, your excellency.
Oh. What's your name, my child?
Angela, my lord.
Angela. Well, come over to me, Angela.
Yes, my lord.
My lord. Has anyone ever told you that you were adorable?
I have, my lord.
Oh, yes, but you haven't listened to him, have you?
Yes, my lord.
She means no, my lord.
Who are you?
Her mother, your excellency.
Nonsense. There must be some mistake. Is she really your mother?
Yes, my lord.
How peculiar. She looks like a goat.
Magnificent understatement, my lord.
While you, Angela... Well, you don't look like a goat. Ottaviano.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, would you just see the...
Yes, my lord. Madam, His Excellency desires to show your daughter the summer palace.
I'm very happy here, my lord.
Your Excellency,
Silence, Benvenuto. I'm considering your case. You'll like the summer palace, Angela.
But, my lord, it's impossible.
What?
Well, I'm happy here. But, I have friends.
Oh, the little redhead in the corner, perhaps?
Amelia, yes.
Yes, well, all right. She goes with you.
Oh.
But, my lord,
Quiet, Cellini. Now, you'll not be lonely, Angela.
I'm very happy here, my lord.
But what is there here that you... Oh, your mother. Well, she shall come along, too. Ottaviano.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, just fetch old Goatface. And, now everything is settled.
My lord, you forget Cellini murdered Mafia.
Oh, yes, of course. never can remember anything. Cellini, have you finished that medal for me?
Not quite, my lord.
Well, I can't hang you until it's finished, that's certain. Just finish the medal quickly and don't leave this house until our final judgment is rendered.
As you say, my lord, you're very kind.
Not at all. I shall probably hang you as you deserve. Well, let's be off now. And, gentlemen, about this little matter of Angela, it'll not be necessary to mention it to the Duchess.
Cellini. Huh? Oh, Taviano. I'm to hang, eh? I knew it.
No. I have a plan whereby you can save your neck.
And what do you gain by the saving, Ottaviano?
A kingdom. I furnish the plan, and you furnish the weapon.
And the Duke will furnish the body. No, I'll not lend my dagger to design a murder. You forget that you tried such a plot on the Duke's life 3 years ago. He came near to hanging you then.
That Duke is a jackass. Be sensible, Cellini. For with your help or without it, I'll not fail this time.
Benvenuto, Cellini.
Oh, the Duchess honors my poor home with her presence.
Cellini, has that husband of mine been here?
He has, milady.
When are you to be hanged?
Unfortunately, I don't know, milady. I'm a prisoner in my own house.
The Duke left me with the intention of hanging you immediately. There must have been a woman around. Was there?
There have been many women here, milady.
Cellini, you know my husband. You know his weakness.
Why, have heard slight rumors, milady?
Rumors? Bah! Oh, Cellini, I'm tired. Tired of this constant struggle against women. I need your help.
Your ladyship honors me, but...
You will come with me to the gates of the summer palace. Somehow, you must enter. And when you leave, the woman must leave with you.
I bow to your command. Lead on, milady. My heart, my blade, and my love will find a way through the thickets of flashing steel. Come, on to the summer palace.
So our first act curtain comes down with a question. Will Cellini manage to free Angela? Will Angela want to be freed? Will I pick the winner in the fourth race at Santa Anita? Who knows?
Well, don't look at me, Raj. I'm a stranger at picking horses. Although I know a thing or two about judging thoroughbred.
Why, Johnny Connie, hiding your light neath a bushel or a horse blanket. Well, give with the information, John.
Well, Raj, when experts judge thoroughbred horses, they're guided by what are called points. Now, to pick a winner, they don't go by just one quality alone, but by all good qualities combined. And, folks, when you pick a gasoline for your automobile, common sense tells you to use the same system. And here's how it works out in the case of that good Gulf gasoline and Gulf no-NOx gasoline. For instance, take the point about anti-knock rating. No matter what car you own, no matter what roads you drive, we promise you that you will be delighted with the anti-knock performance of Gulf gasolines, each in its own class. Then take another point, quick starting. That's particularly important this time of year. And again, Gulf gasolines give you perfectly fine results. Other advantages, such as mileage, power, and smoothness, score just as high. Thus, Gulf gasolines give you balanced quality, really all-round value. That's because Gulf gasolines are being constantly improved. The result is that your neighborhood good Gulf dealer gives you even better gas today than he did 6 months ago. Just as 6 months ago it was better than the year before. That's why so many millions of motorists find that it always pays to always look ahead for the sign of the Gulf orange disc. And now we return you to the director of the Gulf Theater, Roger Pryor.
Thank you, John. And now on with the second act of our play. Will Cellini reach the summer palace in time to save Angela from a fate worse than Frank Morgan? I mean, the Duke. Will the Duke take a run-out powder before the Duchess arrives? Oh, it looks bad for everybody. Everybody except Angela, who's strolling through the gardens of the summer palace with her friend Amelia.
I feel so strange, Amelia. as if I were floating in midair.
I feel that way most of the time.
With me, it is only when I think of Benvenuto.
That is love.
Is it? Oh, love is wonderful, isn't it?
Angela! Oh, Angela!
Speaking of love.
Amelia, what shall I do?
I know what I should do, but then I'm not in love. Not at the moment.
Oh, Angela! Oh, here you are. What's your friend's name?
Amelia, my lord.
Amelia. Yeah, well, Amelia, just go back to the palace.
But, my lord,
Well, if you don't want to go back to the palace, you can stay in the gardens, but don't bother us. And don't peek.
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, that's better. Now, let me see. Where were we?
We were talking of my mother, my lord.
Oh, yes, an ugly subject. Let's drop it. Thank goodness we're alone.
My lord desired to be alone with me?
Forever.
Forever?
Well, for a little while, anyway. And you, are you glad to be alone with me?
Yes, my lord.
Angela, when we're alone, don't call me milord. Just call me Bumpy. It's my nickname.
Oh, I scarcely dare, my lord.
It's my wish, but only in private, mind you, never in public. It would dethrone me. Now, let me hear you say it. Bumpy, like that.
Bumpy?
That's splendid, splendid. Oh, Angela.
Yes, my lord. Bumpy?
Do you think, could you like me?
I want to learn to like you very much.
Oh, well, that's nice.
But I don't seem to manage it.
Oh, you don't? Yes, well, let's see why not. You don't dislike my face, do you?
Oh, no, my lord.
Bumpy?
Bumpy. What times I even find it pleasing.
At times. Yes, well, you admire some of my features, perhaps. My eyes, let's say?
Yes, Bumpy.
My forehead, perhaps?
Yes, Bumpy.
And my nose?
Yes. Bumpy.
You're not so sure about my nose. Well, I can't say I blame you. It comes from my father's side, and their noses were notorious.
My lord, my lord.
Ottaviano, how dare you?
My lord, bad news. The Duchess has arrived.
The Duchess?
Your wife.
Your wife. Oh, the Duchess. But she told me to stay in town.
But she's here.
But she can't do this to me.
Her Excellency awaits you.
It's a trap. Now, what are we to do? About Angela,
we could hide her.
Yes, of course. Only where?
I don't know.
Well, just walk about until you've thought of a place. Angela, you'll stay here. Not a step until I return, and not a sound.
But, my lord, I'm afraid.
Oh, she's nervous, poor child. Well, just call your friend. She'll comfort you, but not too loud.
Amelia?
I'm coming.
Yes, she wasn't a dozen feet away. She's been peeking. Well, I'll scold her later. Come on, Ottaviano. You must think as you've never thought before.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, Amelia, the Duchess has arrived. If she finds me here... Amelia, someone's coming.
Angela, my love.
You, Benvenuto. How did you get here?
Oh, through rivers of blood.
Oh, but the Duke ordered your house guarded.
I killed the soldiers. Dozens of them.
You killed them?
To the last man. I ripped and slashed till a score of bodies lay around me. Oh, it was a bloody business.
Oh, Benvenuto, now the Duke will never forgive you, never.
You cannot rob me of these moments with you. I should have slain an army to reach your side tonight.
Even if the army had 2 men in it.
Without looking, that is Amelia. Get away from here.
Oh, they're always sending me away.
Warn us if anyone comes. Benvenuto, we must be careful. Ottaviano's walking in the garden.
That for Ottaviano, the traitor. Angela, you must come away with me now, tonight.
Oh, but Bumpy told me to...
Bumpy? You got that far, did he?
He told me to wait.
He told you to wait. What sort of a way is that to treat a girl, and a beautiful girl? I should never leave you.
And you would always think of me?
Always.
You wouldn't leave me for somebody else?
Never.
Not even for your work?
Not even for my work. The Duke's medal. I left it on the anvil.
Benvenuto, you've already forgotten me.
Huh? Oh, never, Angela.
Then sit beside me.
Oh, such a beautiful medal. It'll be my masterpiece.
Stop talking about your masterpiece. I'll never speak to you again.
Master, quick, the Duke is coming.
Oh, no.
Angela, Amelia, quick, this way.
Angela!
Run, or we'll all...
Angela! Oh, Angela! It's Bumpy. Angela! That girl, Angela. Ah! What the heavens? What goes on over there?
It's I, Ottaviano. I'm wounded.
What? Oh, that spoils everything. No consideration.
My lord, I'm dead.
Really? Who killed you?
Cellini.
Cellini here? That's ridiculous. I'll settle with him later. Where's Angela?
Gone with Cellini.
Oh, that man, he's everywhere. Well, it's treason. That's what it is, treason. Here, just call out the guard. Sake, they were right here. Beat the bushes. Don't let him escape. Bring me Cellini dead or alive, and I prefer him dead.
Benvenuto?
Angela, please hold your pose. How can I work?
Oh, but Benvenuto.
Darling, I have so little time. I must finish this medal.
I don't want you to finish it.
I'm beginning to realize that.
I want you to sit with me.
Darling, I worship the ground you walk on, but I must work.
Benvenuto, you must promise me something.
Promise you what?
Always to love me.
Oh, that I promise. Always.
And that you won't work this morning.
By all the saints, Angela. Oh, for heaven's sake, find something around the house to clean, will you?
Last night you told me that you would never let me soil my white
It
hands.
was very silly of me.
You said I could show them to people and they'd know I was a lady.
Well, go show them to people and leave me alone.
Master!
Now what?
Master Ottaviano in the courtyard with soldiers. Amelia, quick, the door!
Too late. This is my end.
For once you're right, Cellini. This is your end.
Seize him!
Here, hangman. Find a stout rascal. He'll do the job here.
Oh, darling, the Duke is here. He will save you. I know it.
I wish the Duke knew it.
Well, how nice. I was afraid I might be late for the happy event. Will somebody just bring me something to sit on, please? Oh, thank you. Oh, hello, Angela.
My lord.
Yes, you left in a great rush last night.
I fear it was my doing, my lord.
Yes, so I thought. Are you ready, Ottaviano?
Almost, my lord.
Wait. Has Cellini been introduced to the gentleman who hangs him?
My acquaintance with him is quite sufficient, my lord.
Bravo, Cellini. An excellent spirit. It's a pity you plotted against me.
Oh, but my lord, I never did. You must hear my story.
Please, for my sake.
No, Angela. He must be executed. I've been looking forward to it all morning.
Benvenuto.
Oh, it's no use, Angela.
My lord is anxious to hear your story. If he wishes to see me again.
Huh? Oh, yes, well, all right. I'll listen till the hangman is ready. You may proceed.
My lord, it was Ottaviano who plotted against you.
You accuse Ottaviano?
Everything is ready, my lord.
Yes, but now don't rush me, Ottaviano. There's plenty of time to hang him. He just accused you.
Me? My lord.
I speak the truth. He came to me here and begged that I kill you.
But Ottaviano said it was your idea.
Lord, my one thought was to tell you of the plot. I went to the summer palace only to see you. But I stumbled across Ottaviano, and I fled.
Yes, with Angela, just when we were getting friendly.
Oh, but so don't you see? I was excited, distraught. I feared I'd slain Ottaviano.
Well, you still could have left the girl. Ottaviano, what have you got to say to all this?
Let him produce a witness to his story. Just one.
Can you, Cellini?
No. No, we were alone, my lord.
Oh, that's too bad. You should always have a witness.
My lord.
What is it, girl?
My lord, I overheard them.
Amelia.
But he said he had no witness. Where were you?
Behind the workbench, my lord.
Behind the workbench? That's no place to be. Well, what happened?
Ottaviano wanted the master to kill you. He promised him his life.
She lies, my lord.
Oh, she does. Where's your witness?
I have none.
Yes, you never can tell. Did you have a look in the furnace? My lord. What else did Ottaviano say?
He said...
Tell him, Amelia. Speak.
He said that the Duke was a jackass.
He said that he said that? I'll hang him in Cellini's place.
A noble thought. My lord, I never said that you were a jackass.
Well, maybe not, but it sounds like something you'd say.
My lord, how can you believe this girl? Look at her closely.
Yes, not bad at all.
Look at those full, sensuous lips. The lips of a temptress.
Yes, indeed.
And her form, her figure.
I was just getting to that.
Tall and curved. A woman to lure men.
Yes, and I never noticed it before. I must be slipping.
How could you believe a woman like that?
Well, why would you have to believe her? Oh, I see what you mean.
My lord,
it's no use, Cellini.
My lord, do you remember what happened 3 years ago?
Of course not. You know I can't remember 5 minutes back.
3 years ago, Ottaviano plotted against your life.
Of course he did. And fancy, I forgot. Why, he tried to have me killed.
You forgave me, my lord.
Yes, and now you've been at it again. And added insult to injury by calling me a jackass. Untie, Cellini.
Oh, darling.
My lord.
Throw Ottaviano into the dungeon.
All right.
Then you are a jackass.
Oh, you! There's no thing. Put him in a rat-infested cell. Don't be particular about his meals, and don't give him vinegar. He likes it. I'll teach him to call me a jackass.
My lord, you ought to be congratulated. A great injustice has been avoided.
Well, I think myself I handled it rather well. Benvenuto, I should like to seek your advice concerning some new house servants. You have such excellent taste.
Oh, my lord, you made me a gift of my life. Surely I can do no less than present you with Amelia, the finest servant in Florence.
Oh, no, but I couldn't think of it, Benvenuto.
Oh, but
No.
Well,
I mean, as long as you insist. Come along, my child. What's your name again?
My name is Amelia. Bumpy.
Not in public. Remember, Cellini, it will not be necessary to mention this to the Duchess.
No, not a word, my lord.
Oh, well, come along, Amelia. I'd like to show you the summer palace. I'm sure you'll like it.
Angela,
Benvenuto, we'll be married tonight. You're free. You'll live.
I'll live and work. I'll create a masterpiece of breathless, wondrous beauty. And men 1,000 years from now will know that it was fashioned of our love. Oh, Angela, life is good.
But, Benvenuto,
Yes, my love.
you won't begin it tonight, will you?
No. Not tonight, Angela.
Thank you, Paulette, Frank, Roy, Mary, and Margot, and thanks to you, Doug Jr., for appearing under your trying circumstances. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our stars step before the curtain to take part in our weekly Gulf question box. I ask the questions, and they must answer correctly or pay a forfeit.
Forfeit?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a kissing game, I hope.
No, Frank, I'm afraid not. I ask the questions about Hollywood, and the forfeit, well, you wait and see.
Say, Raj, could you ask questions, say, about the weather? I mean, I'm a weather expert, you know. Well, once I predicted a cold snap, and it got so cold that my uncle had to keep a smudge pot under his derby to keep his wig warm. Wig warm, he wasn't an Indian either. Yes, sir. And my intuition tells me we're in for plenty of cold weather the next few weeks.
My intuition read that in the papers, too, Frank.
Well, mine too, Paulette. In fact, right now, we're in the midst of a nationwide cold snap that has the whole country looking for its earmuffs. And for that reason, I'd like to suggest that you give your family car a midwinter checkup, even though you had the car put in shape at the beginning of the season. Now, if you live up north, maybe you're afraid your antifreeze is boiled away. Well, your good Gulf dealer will help protect your radiator with Gulf's new permanent type antifreeze that will not boil away. And if your starter has been groaning a bit on these cold mornings, well, that's your cue to help take a load off your battery by using free-flowing, quick-starting Gulf Pride motor oil. Again, even if you live down south, the present winter road conditions have probably made your car kind of creaky in the joints. And that's why you need to have it Gulf Flex, lubricated with the new Gulf Flex lubricant. Gulf Flex service makes any car ride easier and steer easier for a longer period of time. Yes, you get a lot more protection for your car and a lot more comfort from your car if you get a midwinter checkup at your neighborhood Good Gulf dealer.
Thank you, Johnny Conte. We had a lot more sticklers in our question box tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but unfortunately, our time is up. And so, remember, your seat in the Gulf Theater is reserved for next Sunday night at the same time, when Gulf presents a moving dramatization of Private Worlds with Charles Boyer, Claudette Colbert, and Isabel Jewell. And, of course, Oscar Bradley and the Gulf Orchestra. So be sure to listen in, won't you? Good. Until then, this is Roger Pryor saying good night, everybody, for your neighborhood Good Gulf dealer.
Douglas Fairbanks Jr. can now be seen in Paramount's Rulers of the Sea. Paulette Goddard's latest picture for Paramount is The Cat and the Canary. Frank Morgan is working in Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's Hooray, I'm Alive. The Gulf Screen Guild Theater originated at Earl Carroll's in Columbia Square, Hollywood. And this is the Columbia Broadcasting System.